Tactic is to follow what somebody has made. There's no self-control and personality in tactics. Strategy is what you make, tailored to your frame. After a comprehensive review of the environment, we need strategy in this business. The basic goal of Atomy is to create a circle. I have to practice making the pointed of my heart round. The starting line for this business is different. There are corporate companies, the people who had a lot of network experience, and people who had an organization, people who started up alone. The team the couple does is happy. It is hard for anyone who does not get help from his wife. We need to know the heart of Atomy because we met a tool to change our destiny. We need to constantly work on expanding our mind. Then our future will turn into a beautiful appearance. From now on, let's look at the basic strategy, how to do Atomy business. The first, getting ready. If you go mountain climbing, there's not one thing or two things to prepare. There are many things to prepare, such as shoes, water, lunchbox, hat, and sunscreen. Atomy is a tremendous business. There are not a couple of things to prepare for Atomy project. We must develop the power of the affirmation. There are a lot of negative people around us. This is why the Education Center develops the power of the affirmation. Let me give you an illustration. There was a poor family, but once a month they wore the best clothes and went to a luxurious hotel. Because their car was not good, they just parked far away from the hotel. And the family planned for their future in the lobby hotel. Later, the family succeeded and became wealthy. What if the family had a complaint of reality? However, the family had a positive power and planned for the future. There are many illustrations. We know the power of affirmation. We have many negative aspects. We think of ourselves positively because we are generous to ourselves. We must start with a positive future dream in this business. The law of 10,000 hours. If I don't grow up, the organization will collapse. If we don't go to Imperial Master 1, 2, or 3 years, we need time to make ourselves. Atomy is a marathon business. There are people who invest 8 hours or 10 hours a day. If we want to fill 10,000 hours, we need 3 years of time. If there's a time to hesitate, the time will be longer. You should be an expert by investing 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours is not the time to keep the things familiar to us, but to invest 10,000 hours in what we have not tried and even feared. Please fill out the 10,000 hours through the process of preparing to speak in public and know the company and explain the product. Pay the price. We have to pay the price. The lizard has a tail note. Especially the crisis is met, the lizard cuts the tail of note 5 and 6. When the blood is tangled and the tail moves in a twitch. When the animal sees the moving figure and the lizard goes away when it stops. The lizards only cut the tail once in crisis. The role of the tail is a necessary part when you have to hold the center and save the nutrition and do the drill. When the tail is cut, the lizards are difficult to escape, difficult to balance, and difficult to crafty. When he does not get nutrition, he has to go to catch the prey. You may think when the crisis is met, the tail is cut again. It is very convenient to think, but it is not. Once the tail is cut, the muscle will be developed in tails. The tails is not trimmed. The lizard pays the price. Because it was once alive, it is difficult to be balanced, difficult to be stirred, and daily hunting for nutrition. In the same principle, you need to remove some of the things that you planned. It can be games, movies, works out, even parenting. 3 kinds of study. There are 3 special studies in this business. The study of knowledge is a study of the head. The study of the body is to meet customers. The thinking about partner's success is a study of the mind. Most people focus on studying the head. They don't move the body. So many people have I know everything sickness. When you ask, I know. When they ask, I know everything sickness. We should be prepared for sure. If the business proceeds without preparation, even though one of your legs' performance is increased and the other leg is decreased, notice, imbalance occurs consecutively, then you will quit. 2. Understanding. When you do the Atomy, you need to be confident that you can succeed. To do so, you need to know the company and then the compensation plan. You need to know the 3 cultures. First, principle-centered cultures. Second one, the company growth culture. Third, sharing culture. Second, you need to know the compensation plan. Nowadays, Atomy sales has increased. There are many other networks coming to us. It is the compensation plan that people notice. So we need to know how to explain well to others why the value of N is needed and how infinite phase and infinite accumulations helps. You should be able to explain about 1 hour and 2 hours. Atomy business has a features. The person who started later can arrive first. Then if the partners make both line balance, then he succeeds faster. Also, we should be able to explain about general commission. We have only one general commission. If you accumulate commission, you will receive a bonus. When you are 2.5 million on both sides for 15 days, you will receive an award of $430. Atomy follows the law of multiplier. Third, people-centric. Some people in Atomy keep going to sell stuff. There is a poor product in their car trunk. The person who has become habit to carry the product continues to selling only things for 2 or 3 years. He does not know what business my partner is doing. You think that I succeeded in being an auto sales master. You need a lot of auto sales master. You should not always sell the product. There must be a smarter person than I. Draw up. When you draw your lineage chart, not the down lineage. The wider, the better. I have to be balanced. I will be succeed if the person is continuous together. The person who does this business first time, their faces are hardened. They might think that don't you try to convince me? Please do not explain this business from start to finish. More than that, you need to imply that you are qualified as a leader to attract them. The power of positive must be cultivated. Fourth, teamwork. It's hard to be with the people. Some have been brought up alone. Some may have many brothers. Some are president. Some even have a housekeeper. We think, feel, adapt to the atmosphere differently. It's not easy to unite. You should invest in people to succeed together. You should increase your time with your team. You need to have a lunch and dinner or a tea time together. There's no conversation even with 1 hour. Later, the time to talk increase. This is last one, practice. What was first one? Getting ready. Second one, to understand. The last one is the practice. Speech training. Speech training is most important. We should be able to boost our company more than an hour. We should continue to practice speaking. This is not a chapter. You must read the books. You must have the ability to convince people. When someone talks, we can see if they are team leader or director or salesperson. The first step is to practice the lectures. Your business will be expanded if you are proficient. It is a business of becoming a leader. In order for me to be Charno's master, there should be 12 salespeople. I must have 972 sales masters to become imperial master. If you define the Atomy business, it is a game that you make a lot of sales master. When I duplicate my sales master to others, I become a royal and crown and imperial master. At first, the speech appears to be an unexpected part. You can then build your skills. Our main work is not product delivery. Our main job is to lecture and consult. To do so, the education center is very important. The Hoiler's law. The most effective way of communicating information to someone is passed by third party or expert. My friend or someone who knows me does not admit that I am an expert in this business. My friend knows me how he played with me so far. They don't like me when I explain that great system has appeared. Especially for guys, they are friends if they do the business. If they do not business, they make enemies. That way, the relationships are broken. At Atomy, we have to take advantage of our sponsors. Previously, sponsors made money using partners. It was a coercive and directing culture at the time, but we have been writing a new history of this network marketing. It is okay for partners to use sponsors to broaden their business. Let's use sponsors. Third, counseling and communication. The last time we talked to sponsors, that was 1 month or 2 months ago. We are just consumers. If I don't know who my sponsor is, I am non-member. We have to meet our sponsors often. You should even consult with a member before registering. If the sponsor goes, you must follow. You can talk to him in the car when sponsor go. People are not good at doing this because the code is different and people are selfish and dislike seeing partners. Finally, we prepare other lines with no interest and we look at the poll of the sponsors and partners and go home when it's called a day. We should never look at the poll of the sponsors and partners. System join. The success of those who continues to speak system. It is easy for us to duplicate others when they join the system. The Atomy is a business that duplicates people like me who has a dream and goal. It is hard to duplicate if we don't join the system. I call it the Success, SOC, Success Academy and one-day seminar and education center. We must attend these 3 places. Some define the qualification of the leaders as a person to be in right place. Through the system, the seminar, we will grow up. The system makes my partners mature. In some network marketing said that you can earn $5,000 in just 6 months. That is all scam. In such a case, there must be an entry fee or a situation in which 80% of $5,000 are to be purchased or the company disappears soon. The summary of success strategy. There are many people who practice without preparation. If we start this business without understanding, we should go back to preparing. We must fully understand so that we can start. Do not go to the people, but you should study Atomy and understand this Atomy first. When you spend 10,000 hours, you can now start. We must continue to participate in speeches, counseling, and communications and join the system. To do so steadily, you should be basically healthy. If we have a disease, everything will be troublesome. Kanji is a letter of meaning. There is a lot of meaning in kanji. If a person is next to a tree, that is a resting. If there's eyes in hands, that is a seeing. Let me share to you how to prevent cancer. Cancer in kanji is like this. There are 3 entrances in kanji. It has something to do with the mouth. First, you should not look at someone else's fault. Some people speak about their friend negatively because they don't buy, they don't sign up. Don't talk bad about people. Second, you should not hear bad sound from others. There are people who sell things but don't get in touch. Amicable person is good. Third, eat less food. Nowadays, we eat better than the kings. We should endure the temptation of chicken and pizza. Why? Because we have to do this business in Atomy. The strategies introduced above is to be practiced. It is important to speak good things toward people and hear the good sound from others and eat less. The radius of my activity become wider when I work in the Atomy business. Now I am the master of colossal system. We need to have a success strategy in 10 different patterns. At that time, we will be able to talk to any person regardless of their position. The present is difficult, but the closer future will come. All of these ideas can be Imperial Master. See you all in the top. Bye bye.